Okay, so I'm getting ready to do my 2026 cross stitch whip parade. And as I'm doing it, getting ready to do it, I realize that I am so insanely not organized when it comes to my whips. So you're gonna have long since seen my whip parade. But today, as I go through and I do my cross stitch, I'm going to get organized, which means it's probably going to take me a couple days to fully get organized. But we're going to do it. I'm going to force myself to get organized, and I'm going to force myself to stick to staying organized. So this is I have an ottoman. It has a lid. I forgot there's one extra cross stitch. It has a lid. Over there somewhere. This is all my cross stitch whips, I think. I hope that I grabbed them all. I don't know. There are 2 that have been started in 2026. The rest are pre-2026 projects. I need to film my whip parade. But as I'm doing it, I'm going to start writing everything down. I'm going to set up a Notion, which I will eventually show in this video. But I want to set up a Notion where I have the start date, which 98% of these I do not have a start date for. But as I start projects, I want to be able to have start dates. I want to have a picture of the finished project. I want to have pictures every month or as I catch up. Obviously, there will be a beginning of the year photo. I want to have all of the designer information, project name, how many stitches it has, if it's in Pattern Keeper. If it's not in Pattern Keeper and it is a paper pattern, ain't nobody got time to count stitches. So that'll be a not thing. But this will make it easier for each time I do updates, all that. And it'll also make it easier at the end of the year when I come back at the beginning of 2027 to show my whip parade. I will have all the pictures of where it was, all of that. So that's what I'm going to work on today. I have not figured out if I'm going to use a Notion template that's already together, or if I'm going to make my own. So yeah, let's get organized. I'm already tired. I don't want to do it. Okay. Okay, so I was going to do my whip parade first, and as I was doing it, write down each project. The only thing is, I realized that I do not have designer information, names of patterns. I don't remember. So yeah, I am going to look and see what I can find Notion wise. think I'm going to look for a good Lord. I want to look for a ready-made template. That way I don't have to spend the time to make a template. I'm also debating if I just want to write down everything on a piece of paper. Sorry, I got a text message. As I go, and then I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm already overwhelmed. There's a reason why I don't organize, because I'm just terrible. I get overwhelmed very easily when it comes to trying to organize myself, which this won't be the only organization video that you're gonna see. I need to get all of my life organized at this point. So we are going to figure this out. I'm going to look through Notion, see if there's any templates. I'm ready to go from there. Okay, I'm going to stop talking and see if I can find something. So, okay. I did not find a template that I really liked, so I'm making my own, and I'm going to start inputting projects one by one. I'm already tired. I already don't want to do it. I've got a Amy Robinson video up, and I'm going to get my crap together and I'm going to do this, because if I'm organized, maybe it'll be less of a circus. We'll see. Forgot to pause. I'm watching Retrocraft Dreams, her Operation Clean Slate that she put out yesterday. So I have put in all of my projects. There's a pile. I can't pick them up except for 2 projects. I don't even know what that is. I started it, and this one is a project, but it isn't in Pattern Keeper, but I had started it a long time ago. I'll probably end up putting it into Pattern Keeper eventually, and I will show these two in my WIP parade, but for now I'm not going to. I am also missing a project, and I'm not sure where I put it. So my Notion is pretty basic at the moment. It's pretty basic at the moment. I do want to do more to it, but as of right now, I'm fairly new to Notion, so I don't know. This is enough for today. One thing I have not added into my Notion is pictures. I'm going to do pictures of, as I show the projects, I will take pictures and then I can add those in, and then I will add in the, pattern project picture that it's supposed to look like. That way it's easier when I go to edit. So we're gonna do more organization later, but for today, this is what we've got. I will kind of figure out more of Notion as I go, but another thing that it doesn't show me, which I need to figure out how to do, is I want to have my projects numbered. It doesn't show me how many projects I have. Too many. That's how many projects I have. And some of these there's 2 projects that I got confused. Nope. I got 2 projects confused. And had to kind of redo them because I had them switched out because I have very little done on them and it's all in black. It's not much. So it is 12:30. I should probably film my WIP update at this point because I want to get it done. It's going to take forever to edit, and it's already Wednesday, and if I'm going to get it up by Friday, I need to get my shit together. Also, another thing that I want to work on organizing is my master set of flosses. I've been using flosses. These are mostly Christmas stuff. I use them and then I just toss them in there. I need to organize that. Also, I have a printable DMC floss list, and I was going through and checking them off. I need to go back to doing that. There's a bunch that I don't have, so I need to get that figured out. But that will be probably tomorrow. We'll do more organization tomorrow. For now, I need to go film my cross stitch WIP parade. I should probably get my light out so that I don't have these massive dark circles going on. So, yeah, okay. So I just finished filming my WIP parade, which you would have already seen. While I was doing it, I realized that I have multiple projects that I didn't have with me and that I couldn't find. I did show Pattern Keeper in the video, so I'll have to add those into my Notion. I'll probably add those into Notion as I edit the video. there's also some information that I forgot to put into my Notion. And I also need to go through and take pictures of every single project. I'm tired. Oh my God. So I found the projects that I was missing, plus some others that I forgot that I was doing. So, oops. I'm gonna take pictures. Then I'm going to put the projects in that I forgot about. Let's get back to organization. As much as I want to lay down, take a nap, and not go anywhere, not do anything, I'm gonna keep going. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay, I had a little lie down. I took photos of all of the whips that I already put into Notion. I still need to take photos of the ones that I found. But I'm waiting to do that until I have like actually put them into Notion. I'm also thinking, I don't love the way that I did good Lord. I'm not loving the way that I did my Notion. I do have all the information put in, which is great, but I think I just need to God, my words are not working. I need to do some more tweaks because I want it more interactive. Right now it has the information, but it's not as interactive as I want it to be. I don't know what I got. So I wanted to be able to, one thing that I realized while I was filming my whip parade, my dog, while I was filming my whip parade is I have it listed, and I'll kind of take a, good Lord, I'm tired. I'm going to do a like little screen capture so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. I have it more set up like an Excel spreadsheet with the names and everything. But what I'm finding my problem with is if I'm going to do, why is Minecraft trying to load? If I'm going to look at projects, quickly look at projects, each project page, everything, I'm not gonna look by name. That was what was really hard for me. I think clicking on each clicking on it. Jesus. Trying to remember the name and clicking on the name. That's just not what I want. I want to look at this in the more project card type things. So I was doing just a random, I made it Notion, which is fine, but I haven't done a lot in Notion. So what I want to have, how I want it to look, I'm finding it difficult. So I purchased the Stitchery Notion template from Stitchy Natty. I was scrolling through YouTube and I found a video that she put out 2 years ago. I found a video that she put out 2 years ago where she talks about her template, and I was watching it and I loved it, and instead of trying to create something like it, I just bought it. She has the templates on Gumroad. I think it was $9. It's gonna be perfect for me. It's gonna be so much better. And it will, in the project cards that she has, you can look at not only see the picture, but it also gives you the stats on the main page, which is awesome. I will do the print screen again, or take a picture so that you can kind of see it. And it has all the stat information, which is what I want to be able to see for when I am doing Flosstube videos or doing my edits, my monthly video. I don't know why my ear itches so damn bad. Okay, focus. Anyways, I want to, this will be much easier for when I do WIP parades or when I do updates on projects that I worked on. So, I have already put in a lot of my information on Notion. I just have to transfer it from the really crappy Notion file that I did and put it into this template, which is going to be so much better. I am so excited. It's going to have so much more information, and I can also, if I decide to track how many days I stitch or anything like that, I can do that. But for now, I have half an hour before I have to go get the kid from school, so I'm going to try to get as many projects in as I can, and I will upload the photos that I took later, but for now I'm going to get to putting these projects in. Okay, hello. We are on day 2 of organizing my WIPs. I apologize if I look a little tired. I did not sleep very well last night. So, why? So I didn't get much more done last night. I did take photos of the projects that I hadn't found prior to my whip parade, and I think I inputted a couple more projects, but I really didn't have a lot done. I went and got the boy from school, and then he decided that he wanted to go to the mall because, of course, he needed to go do some shopping with a friend. Yeah. So this morning, it is Thursday, and I need to get the projects in that I don't have the stats for, that I didn't find before my whip parade. I need to get those in so that I can edit my whip parade, because so for the projects that I started pre doing this, I'm just putting in my stats as of December 31st, and that way I can that way I have where I'm at without having to add in anything and no dates, because I don't. Yep. Okay, so it is another day of organizing. It is Monday. Last time I filmed was Friday. I finished inputting all of my cross stitch projects into Notion. My husband helped me because I was tired of inputting numbers. So next is to fix all of my flosses. There are some that are missing because I keep them with projects. For example, one of my projects has a bunch, but I want to get the ones that are in there put away. There's some that are deorganized. Eventually, I plan to put all of these into Notion so that I know which ones I have. For now, I just use this paper, and basically if I'm looking for a number, a DMC number, and I don't find it in the box where it should be, I look on the list. If it's marked off, that means I have it and it's just somewhere in one of the projects. If it's not marked off, that means that I need to go buy it, which I did find one that I don't have for one of my projects. So eventually I will have to go to Michael's or make a order online, depending on how I want to do it. But for now, we're gonna get this organized. So okay, all done. That wasn't too much that I had to do. Now I'm going to take every single one of my projects and put them in a Tiny Decisions wheel app so that I can make sure that I work on every single project this year. So it'll be one of those things where I can spin it when I don't know what project to work on, and then I can make sure that I work on everything. So that's next. I went to edit this cross stitch whip organization and realized that I never filmed a wrap up / outro. So I got all my cross stitch projects in my new Notion. I will link the Notion template below, and also the video that I found it on, so that if you are interested, you can grab it. I also organized my master set, which desperately needed it, and I made a little spin Tiny Decisions wheel. That's what it is. So that with all of my whips on it, so that I can make sure I work on a whip, every single one of my whips this year. So my goals for 2026 are to put time into every single project. So once it goes up on the wheel, once it gets picked on the wheel, it will go gray. And then if I finish the wheel in the year, which I better, I can redo it again. I can do it again, so I can go back through. The wheel will only be for if I can't decide on a project to work on. I have already worked on one of my projects and put 1,000 stitches in. I actually, while I was organizing my whips, doing my whip parade, it was one that I wanted to work on. So I decided to work on it. I got 1,000 stitches in. Yay! And I plan to do 1,000 stitches on every single one of my stitches. However, if a project that is in my needs to be finished pile pops up on the Tiny Decisions wheel, I work on it until it's done. Yep. And then if it's one of my paper patterns, like my fantasy ride, I just hit myself in the face with that. If it's like a fantasy ride, which is a paper pattern, unfortunately, I won't be counting stitches. Instead, I will just put, like, at a few good days, I'm thinking probably 5 or 6 good days of stitching into the paper patterns. It won't be probably 1,000 stitches because it'll take me a little bit longer. Because it's paper pattern, it's a little bit more difficult to stitch since it won't be on Pattern Keeper. But I will put time into it. So those are my plans. This was kind of a, I don't know, weird video. It was a little off. But at least I have some organization with my cross stitch projects now. And it'll be a little bit easier to keep track of not only what I do, what I need to work on, and also what I finish. That will be helpful as well. Because I would like to have an idea of what I finished throughout the year so that I can show those in my end of 2026, beginning of 2027 video, whip parade video. So yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.